service. What do you know about customer service? What's customer service?
The experience that you provide to the clients.
Yeah, experience that we provide to customers, yeah? Anything else? What do you think is customer service? What do you want when you go somewhere? What do you give when people come to your restaurant?
Good attention.
Attention? Huh? Service? Service to customers, I suppose. So customer service? What type of service?
Very hospitable.
What is it?
I think their demand, their needs, not demands.
Mm-hmm. Do you give anything to the customers?
No.
The new guy? The new old guy? You don't give anything to customers?
Yeah.
You don't care? Do you work?
Yeah.
Where do you work?
In the kitchen.
In the kitchen.
Yeah.
So you don't give customer service? Yes or no?
Yeah.
How do you give customer service in the kitchen?
Prepare the food.
Yeah, through the food. So customer wants something to be modified. Or they want something, chips instead of salad. That's customer service. You don't say, no, we don't do that. Okay, so we need to try to do as much as we can to make our customers happy. Although sometimes it's quite hard, but let's have a look of what these slides are going to talk about. Communicate with internal and external customers. What's that? What are the internal customers and what are the external customers?
Internal is employees.
Okay. What did you
External
want to
is
say? Nothing. You're about to explode. Tell me.
Well, internal customers are all the people you work with that you provide a service to. I've worked in customer service for 30 years, but 15 of them was only people I worked with. I was supplying.
All part of the same
I was
company.
supplying a service to them. It's not always just somebody who's paying for something.
Discount and some free stuff as well. But they still, like managers from other venues, coming to our restaurant to try out, and they will provide a feedback. They're the most dangerous, probably. Okay? So we also have to look after them as they were our external customers. We will learn how to communicate with customers in a polite and professional manner. Sometimes it's hard. Anyone work in front of house? 3 people. The rest is all back of house. How to observe and respond to a non-verbal communication. Okay? We will learn what are the non-verbal communication. Sometimes we just see from the facial expression that people are unhappy. Sometimes we can learn from their body language that they're not very happy. Okay? Or some others. We will use active listening. We will learn what active listening is if we don't know it already. And we will learn how to select an appropriate medium of communication. Find the need. So we need to make an effort on really making staff aware of what their job is. Okay, so you as a staff member need to be aware of what your job is, and you should go above and beyond to make sure customers are happy. Okay, because when customers are happy, they might tell a few people. When customers are not happy, they will tell everyone. Everyone. Okay, so most of the times it's harder to have a good review than a bad review. Bad review is very easy because people are upset and they don't care, so they put down a bad review. Good review, they have an expectation when they come to your restaurant, When you meet their expectations, they're like, yeah, you know. When they're not happy, you're not meeting their expectation, they start complaining and they start putting up bad reviews. So what makes a positive customer service experience? This is actually pretty bad. I wouldn't do it. Or like I would never do it to my restaurant. Sometimes what happens is that we do things we don't realize it can come across, especially us, yeah? Because we have all different backgrounds. The way sometimes we come across, and I'm the first one, can come being rude or abrupt, even though we don't mean it. So this is how we need to modify our approach as well sometimes. But did you feel like you received a bad customer? Sometimes it's like they didn't want to be there. Why you think is that? People didn't want to be there. Breathe, because if everyone gets upset, you're not gonna go anywhere. When you'll be a manager, people will rely on you. And the reason why people might not feel happy about being there is probably because there's a bad leadership. So bad leadership, people aren't happy. Okay? It's prompt service. Okay? When people arrive to your restaurant, what do you do first? You greet them. You give them a table. If the table is not ready for whatever reason, you ask them, I'm sorry, would you mind sitting at the bar? The table is not ready. Maybe if it's taking longer, you give them a drink, you give them something to nibble, okay? To try and minimize the complaints. Train the staff. Training is very important. Because the problem I find nowadays within the hospitality industry is that staff is undertrained. They just take whoever, because not many people want to work in the industry nowadays. They take whoever and they chuck them in on the floor, at the bar, in the kitchen without any training. So training is very, very important. Trained people will take few steps. You can't learn everything in one day. You get overwhelmed because too many information, we can't keep them all. So you take a little bit at a time, and if you really want to learn, if you really want to grow within the industry, you will learn as you go. But you need to have a good leader that can lead you to grow, because if you grow, the business grows. Okay, if customers are happy, they come back. Offer additional services. What could be an additional service into your restaurant? What could it be?
Valet service.
Valet service. Use the right tone, and it's not a ringtone. Okay? Use the right tone. The right tone of voice is the customers respond more to how we say things than what we say. Let's always use a friendly and professional tone. Let's avoid using negative emotions such as you bored, annoyance, or you upset. Like, yeah, you know, sort of things. They don't care. They shouldn't care. It's not their problem if you had a bad day. Okay, they're not your friends. They're not your mates.
Sorry.
So let's see the difference between the two telephone calls.
You'd like to change your flight dates? No problem. I'll just bring up your details. Okay, on the ticket you purchased, this kind of change will incur a fee. Is that okay with you?
You'd like to change your flight dates? Okay, no problem. I'll just bring up your details. Okay. The ticket you purchased, This kind of change will incur a fee. Is that okay with you?
Very annoying, huh?
Mm.
I would hang up straight away.
Mm.
You?
I don't know how that guy would have a job after.
I'm just being confused on what he said. Like, what?
Because they basically said the same thing, yeah?
If I didn't hear the first one, I wouldn't.
Did you want to hear the first one again?
No, no. If I didn't hear the first one, the second one was like more confusing
Yeah.
on the context.
Okay. We always have to avoid mumbling. Imagine a trainer talking to you and be like,
Like
Sounds
this.
familiar.
yeah?
Sounds familiar.
It's pretty annoying, like listening to people like that. When someone is talking to you, they should know what they're talking about. They should we should take a deep breath and just say what we have to say instead of like the right pitch and volume. If we speak too loud, it's annoying. If we speak too low, it's also annoying because you can't hear me if I speak too low. Or if I'm too loud, I'm also annoying. Do customers really notice the pitch and volume of your voice? Absolutely. They expect you to provide information clearly, calmly, or sometimes you have to make things up. Because you can't say chefs are fighting in the kitchen. If you say it, you are unprofessional. You can't say I run out of things and someone is quickly going to buy the food that we ran out of because the chefs didn't order enough food or whatever can happen. You don't say that. You use a calm tone of voice, just say there's going to be a little delay, you apologize, and you try to give them their food straight away. In the meantime, can I get you something while you're waiting, something to nibble? Okay? The most important thing is that you guys communicate front of house and back of house, because remember, it's a teamwork. And that reflects on customers, because it's all about customer service. Okay? Customers don't have to know that you fight and that you don't like each other. It's not their problem. They're there to enjoy their meal, or maybe they have a special occasion. They want to have a good time. They can't care less about your problems. When you're talking face to face to customers, be clear, be friendly. Use the right body language. So do you know that 70% of our communication is coming from our body? Sometimes, or most of the times, we don't even realize. It's our unconscious, okay? Posture. You won't impress a customer if you like this or working like that. They won't be really impressed, right? So you want to sit down nice and straight or stand still, okay? If you ever see restaurants, you work in a restaurant, then staff are just talking like that, or see waiters. I've seen waiters where they will take an order, talk to a customer, doing like this. That's not very professional, is it?
Punch them in the face.
If your customer's facial expressions show they're upset, but they're not saying anything, maybe take initiative and trying to improve the situation. Is everything okay with you? Did you enjoy your food? They might say, may or may not tell you something. Or when you see that someone looks upset, give them some extra attention. Use eye contact when you speak to customers. It shows that you're giving them your full attention. It's not that customers come talk to you and you doing something else or write or being on a pad, okay? Because you get distracted, people don't feel like looking after them. Scan the room. When you walk around in your restaurant or service, if you have an open kitchen as well, might help. Always look around when you can, especially waiters. you have your own section. You walk around. Most of the people nowadays, they walk and they look on the floor. You need to look around and see if someone wants your attention. Some people might lift their hand. It's not very polite here in Australia. Check what's going on, okay? Some customers might have an empty glass that they need to either have a top up, or we need to get rid of the empty glass, empty plates. We have to call the men away, okay? We do customer service. Even if you work at the front desk, you're still part of the company, you're still part of the business. You always have a look around, and if you have a table with empty glassware, even customers are not that, get rid of it, even if it's not your job, because it's a very welcoming place if our place is clean and tidy. Use of space. What is the use of space? How close you stand to the customer, okay? You don't want people too close to you. Use at least 1.5 meters away, not stay too close, okay? Because you always have to keep that distance, okay? They're not your friend, they're not your family, they're not your partner, okay? So there should be some lines of distance. So a customer is sitting here, I stand here, taking their order. I don't get too close. You need to use the space. And if someone gets close to you, you always take a step back, because it's not very comfortable. Did you ever feel like people were stepping back, or you had to step back because people will get too close to you?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Because we need our space. And never touch as well. Some people tend to be touchy. Use the right gesture. So gesture obviously is part of us, our cultures as well. Some cultures use hands more than others. Okay? So pointing index finger. So people in some countries point the index just to attract someone's attention or to indicate something. Okay, we shouldn't do this. If a customer say, "Oh, I have a booking for 10, my friends have already arrived," you don't say they. Okay, you just either show them with the palm, okay, or best if you take them through. Or where is the toilet, and just next to you, you don't say it's there, just here on the left. Thumbs up can be a positive way to indicate job well done or everything is okay. However, in some countries, it's the same as the middle finger. Can you confirm this in one of your countries, that this will be some of your middle finger? I'm not too sure.
No, that's offensive.
Huh?
No, I said that it's offensive doing like this.
Oh, he's like.
As we already mentioned, most of us, someone does something back to you, you do this.
Iran, Iraq,
Ah, really?
Afghanistan,
There you go. Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan.
parts of West Africa.
Right. See? So we don't have to take for granted that this is good. Okay, this means in some country that this is okay. However, in some European countries, it means 0. But probably Asian countries as well, that means 0.
Okay.
Money.
Money,
This is money.
Money?
Yeah.
You don't do this for money?
We are like this. Money. This one is money.
This is money?
What is this?
It looks like coin.
Right.
It's very good. Imagine. It's not like wow.
See, we're learning that different gestures mean something different in different countries, yeah?
See,
This?
Lots of
Not
meaning.
commenting.
Lots of
No
meaning.
comment. Ask chef.
Chef, one of these conveys a lot of meaning.
This?
A lot of meaning.
This.
What is?
So this is very Italian. It doesn't really have,
delicious.
no.
No, no.
Now that's sarcastic.
You would do this
Come on.
when something buonissimo, yeah? Delicioso.
But if you go up and down,
This is like what? Okay? What and what the hell? Okay? Or touching someone's head, like, you know, especially when you do with the kids. In Australia, people touch or stroke each other, especially children, on the head as a sign of affection. However, for Indians and Malays, it's not acceptable. Do you confirm?
No Malaysia.
No? Not true? Malays? Anyone from Malaysia?
No.
So, I'm not sure. They believe this part of body is sacred. No? They're lying to us. Things like, come here. In some countries, doing that is a way of attracting on your way, but it's not very polite, okay? Because you can do this maybe to dogs, not really. Okay? The best way to get someone probably say, can you please come over? Instead of be like,
I've seen managers doing that.
yeah. You've seen managers doing that.
Oh, really?
You do this maybe with your friends, or if you have a confidentiality to someone, like, hey, where is your assessment? Didn't see your assessment yet. Yeah, but not with customers. Like, come here, show your table. Yeah. Crossing arms is very comfy, eh? Do you cross your arms? Very comfy. But however, it's a sign of being closed. You don't want to communicate. When we're upset, we tend to do this automatically without even thinking. Or tired, or don't really want to talk to someone. Keep your arms open and uncrossed to demonstrate you're open to listen. Do this.
What was the last one?
Oh.
He like smacking himself on the head?
Oh. Fanning your hand sideways in front. Oh, this one means that you're hot. But in Japan means no. Is that true?
No.
No.
Just no confidence, Pepe.
Yes or no?
Oh, yeah.
That means no.
No.
This means no?
No, we don't have.
It's not
So
hot
that's
in
a
Japan.
false
Something
statement.
stinky.
Yeah.
Something smells, yeah?
Or there's flies.
Yeah?
Oh.
In Italian, you do this if someone is a little bit crazy, like cuckoo. Yeah,
We do that.
this one as well, but
Loco.
hey, okay? You okay?
That, to me, that's think.
How good are your communication skills? So Kenny works in an amusement park. He has customers from many different cultures. Can you help him provide them with information and assistance? Where's the ATM? Over there. Let me show you. Come this way. Which one? Which one would you use?
It's the Wicked Witch.
Open hand. Oh no. Big lips.
Is this ride any good? It's a ripper. Have a go. It's okay. It's fantastic. You love it.
Last one.
Because we said that this is 0.
Money.
That was middle finger as well, yeah?
No.
Ah, this was middle
Yeah.
finger. Importance of active listening. So what is active listening? It's actually listening to when people are talking to you, yeah? Leave what you're doing, talk to them, look in their eyes, just let them speak as well, let them talk.
Nod your head.
Nod your head, yes. Okay? Don't think as anything else. Just listen actively. Actively means that you might need to ask questions to show them or to double check that you understood what they're trying to tell you. Okay? Very important. It's crucial to know how the customers want their steak cooked. Quite surprising on how often staff disappoint customers. Don't take anything for granted. Ask the right questions.
That's the cake.
Where's the cake?
That's the cake.
And you need to no, it's like cook it for me. I'm the birthday girl.
We have to make a cake for you.
Yes,
Makes
indeed.
sense.
Makes sense,
I
yes.
like cheesecake. I like cheesecake.
All right, she likes cheesecake, guys. Yeah.
Good.
Closed questions.
Yes or no?
Yeah. They just need yes or no as a question. When you do active listening, you probably want to ask open questions so you have a better understanding of. I'm not happy about my steak. Oh, you're not happy about your steak? No, I'm not happy.
Yeah.
You want to ask any open question? Why you didn't like it? Did you ask your waiter how you want it to be done? Did your waiter tell you how our standard is on cooking the steak? Because usually, especially on functions, when you cook steak, you tend to do medium rare, yeah? Some people like it well done. So as a waiter, and you, if you're a waiter, or as a chef, if you're a chef, it is our responsibility to let the customer know how the steak is gonna arrive. This is the standard. If someone likes it well done, I really hate when people say we can't do it. Even if I wouldn't do it. Okay? We can't say we can't do it because these people are bringing money to your business, and if they're not happy, they're not gonna come back. Usually what happens is when someone tells you what the problem is, you paraphrase. So you're saying that you didn't like your steak because it was overcooked or was undercooked. Okay, or my steak is overcooked, I asked for medium or rare, it's overcooked. So you said your children, paraphrase, you said your children are coming with you. Another question would be, what are the ages? Or would you like another steak? You want me to prepare another steak? Or maybe would you like to change a dish? I heard you say you want to be sure our venue is safe. So what aspect are you scared about? What is your concern? You mentioned you're concerned about how you would get around the resort. Do you have any specific requirement regarding the transport that would help make you stay your stay more pleasurable? Okay, so that's a reflective way. Can you remember the different questioning styles? Look at these questions and decide which ones is the style open, close, reflectively. How would you describe your skiing ability?
Open.
You mentioned that your meal was unsatisfactory. How could we have improved it so you would enjoy it more? Everyone? Which one is this?
Reflective.
Are you all? The way to facilitate a two-way communication is be attentive. So obviously you need to give them your full attention. Listen to their tone of voice. See if they calm. Some people might sound calm as well, but they're not calm. Look at their body language and maintain eye contact. Be a mirror, so create a report by repeating or mirroring back the customer's needs. Main point, priority and thoughts. Feeling problems. There are many ways that we do this. So if I understand right, you're not happy about the steak, even though we did tell you we were gonna serve it medium rare. You're not happy anyway, because probably it's too rare. Because that happens. From what you said, I could help you buy blah blah blah. Shall I go ahead? I can help you buy again a different dish. Because you're not happy about the steak. You think that it's chewed. Can I get you something else? Maybe we can get you some chicken or can get you pasta. This shows you've been paying attention and have understood. If we are always on our phones, if we get distracted talking about gossips or talking about someone else, and we don't care about the customers, this is what can happen. Customers unsatisfied, we can't remember what they ordered, we can't remember anything. Why we can't remember? Because we've been distracted. Always treat every customer with respect. Sometimes it's hard because they're very unpolite. Get someone else to step in for you. If you're not a manager, which you are not a manager yet, if you feel uncomfortable on the way they talk to you, don't fight to a customer. Just step away and get a manager to step in for you. I don't know if you had any experience with nasty customers, but I can tell you that the majority are really, really nice. Be proactive, so because your actions speak louder than words. So once you heard your customers and what they have to say, take an action to make them happy. Da, 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 da. Spot active listening in action. We have a class of sick people. Andy is waiting tables and has just had a customer tell him she's on a gluten-free diet. Which response shows he's actively listening, developing rapport and responding appropriately to this customer needs? Oh, you'll be okay. I'm sure once you taste the meal, you won't even care that what's got in it. The gluten-free dishes are clearly identified here on the menu. Have a look and I'll come back to take your order. Okay, thanks for letting me know. I can certainly recommend some gluten-free option on our menu. If you prefer, I can get the chef to make you something special.
The third one.
I'm sure the chef will be very
Oh,
happy
yeah, I was gonna
to
say.
change the menu.
Yes.
I was gonna say, you better have permission to use that one.
You can, obviously, if we can, we always have to try. Because look, if you work in a good restaurant, you gotta be able to make everyone happy. Gluten-free, vegan, vegetarian, okay? But there are still some restaurants, they don't provide enough gluten-free options, enough vegan options, or enough vegetarian options. Then yes, you need to ask the chef, or you chef, you gotta make sure you have enough to make customers happy, okay? Because on a group of 10 people, if there's one gluten-free or one vegetarian or you name it, an allergy, and that restaurant cannot accommodate that option, you lose 10 customers. They'll go somewhere else. Yeah, basically that's what it is. You don't just lose one customer. Information. So basically, if you are sick, they tell you to call in at least 3 hours before, 2 hours before your shift. So they will have enough time to get someone to replace you. Young people, yeah, it's not for everyone. Okay, we need to try as much as we can, especially now with AI, to have an understanding of how AI works. And that doesn't mean that you need to copy paste your assessment from ChatGPT. Okay, that means that the use of technology is going to be more and more part of our lives. We need to be able to understand how to use it, because it can help us, but it doesn't have to replace the reality. What's the difference between standards, policies, and procedures? What is a standard?
Industry foundation.
Food should be hot food should be presented in hot dishes. Okay, there are still restaurants that they don't serve it in hot dishes, cold dishes. Okay, that's not the standard. But our standard is that, you know, we serve food, we look after the food. It's gonna look all the same. That's why we put a picture on the recipe, because our standard is that the food is gonna look the same every time we serve it. It's gonna taste the same as well. For example, an organization may have an internal customer service standard stating the maximum waiting time a customer should experience before receiving service in a restaurant, a reception, or at the bar. Once management have defined expected standards for the establishment, they can document their vision and objective in the form of policy statements. Policies are rules or guidelines written. So written for you. So they usually should make you sign for them as well. So that you can't say, oh, I didn't know. They outline what is acceptable or unacceptable in the company. There might be examples of information about personal hygiene that we covered already. Dress code, such as your uniform. You should have clean shoes all the time. Okay? Clean uniform. I still see sometimes that people go to work and they have dirty pants. Dirty pants or dirty shoes. Not ironed. So we need to look clean, immaculate, okay? Because we are the face of the business. If I come to school, to this school, and I come with dirty clothes or I smell, that's the image I'm giving on my school, yeah? Or of my restaurant.
Yeah.
Or if I don't teach you anything, or at least trying to teach you something, that's the idea I'm giving you of the school. We just go there, we pay the fee, they give us the certificate. Easy, eh? Industry standards. So, oh, look at that. It's proper.
I think you missed the procedure.
Oh, did I? Oh, there you go. Procedures are used to accomplish a certain task or achieve a consistent result. They are written so everyone knows how to comply with policies. Procedures relate to practical activities and be regularly referred to, so they need to be simple, clear, and concise. They also need to be up to date. As the organization activity, customer needs and technology change, so must and necessary procedures. So industry standards, service, so customer care policies, service standards, complaint procedures. So we should have in our policies and procedures, what do we do in case of complaint? If a customer is not happy about their meal, what should we do? Okay, we usually should call the manager straight away, but that's not always the case. You don't have to call the manager all the time. Okay? So if a customer is not happy, you just don't question it. Like, oh, but I think it's good. Oh, I see that it's good. Okay? The customer say, my meat is tough. You apologize and take it to the kitchen. And ask the customer, would you like something else instead? Would you like to have a look at the menu? Are you happy to wait for a new steak for you, or for a new pasta, whatever that is? Okay? So every place has got their own policies and procedures, but there's also a standard that we should all follow. Okay? If a customer say, my coffee, I've asked for a hot coffee, but my coffee is not hot, you don't say, but this is hot to me. Okay? That happens. That happens and will always happen. This is all part of a customer service. Or you make a beautiful coffee, but you don't smile, you don't say thank you, you're not polite, you just, that's your coffee, drink it and go. Okay? Talk together. So if the customer says, my coffee is not hot enough, it's probably not hot enough. Okay?
I need my coffee to be hot enough for my 30-minute commute to work, so by the time I get to work, it's still hot.
Yeah, everyone has got his own reason. Product standards. So most product standards are defined by the law. Organization must ensure that the standards are met by following the action. So product standard, we probably, when we talk about the law, do you think of food safety? It's a standard required by the law that the food should be kept in a safe zone, away from the danger zone, 24-hour rule. Okay? Design and implement quality system, use it a qualitative and quantitative tools to pinpoint and resolve problems. Typical customer service policies and procedures, depending obviously on the size of the business you work at. They may also vary over the time in response to changes to technology, and now we're living in an era where technology is running so fast, AI, so fast. Make sure you're familiar with the policies and procedures that you apply to your customer service role, okay? A lot of hotels now, they don't have face-to-face check-in anymore, it's all electronic. You find many hospitality examples by searching hotel customer service policies or restaurant customer service policies on the internet. Presentation standard, we already said that. Product and service quality, make sure your food is safe, okay? Identify and report service quality, and that's what we do every day, yeah? First in, first out, 24-hour rule. Yep. Check the fridges, make sure cleanness. Price and service guarantee. Establishments make certain guarantees about the type of experience customers can expect when purchasing a product or service. If you're not happy about something, you go buy something, you have the right to have a refund. Here in Australia. In some other countries, not really. Maybe you can exchange, but you have a few days, you know, here is different. Quality and presentation standard, pricing including price matching. If you go to Coles or Woolworths and something was priced in a different way than when you scan, and it's their fault, their mistake, because it was probably placed somewhere wrong, they have to give it to you for free.
Oh, really?
Because sometimes what happens is they put like $3 and they put on something that costs $10, and you buy because you think it's $3, and you show them where you took them from, they'll give it to you for free or the same price.
Oh, that's a nice trick. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that happened to me once.
What are you gonna start scamming Kohl's?
Yeah. So from now on, go to Kohl's and we will change everything.
Yes.
Yes?
That's what I'll do.
Yeah, and then they'll give it to you either for free or for that cheaper price.
Yeah, I picked up this steak over here where the 89-cent bananas are.
Yeah.
I don't know how it got there.
Yeah. And it's not even written on the steak. Acknowledge and greeting customers, we said that. Response savings time. Loyalty programs, we said. Complaint dispute management. Refunds, exchange or cancellation. You have 24-hour cancellation policy most of the times, where you have to have your full refund. Customer service procedures provide staff with detailed steps on how to inform customers of the establishment cancellation policy at the time of the booking. Okay, you can reschedule. Did you ever see that, the cancellation policy is that you won't have a full refund or you'll be charged, but if you change your reservation, you won't be charged. So what do? You change your reservation to next week, and then you call the day after and cancel the booking. Smart, huh? Establishment have different policies in providing refund and exchange. Some you have like a month to exchange. It's all different, so every place is different. But in obviously restaurant is you're gonna have a refund on what, where you're not happy, or you're gonna have an exchange of what you're having to something else. Obviously you're not paying for it. That's why we need to try to use a good customer service, because we don't want to lose money. Be very clear when communicating with your customers, because then when they complain, it's not your fault, it's their fault. Okay? So if you explain that's the way we serve it and they're still not happy, we're gonna talk about it. Okay? Or if your food is arrived cold, after 1 hour you waited, yes, you got all the right to send it back. But if your food is arrived and you spent 1 hour before you start eating it, you can't come to me 1 hour later and complain about it. Okay? And there are these people do this kind of complaints as well, yeah? Staff training is always important. The people are failing, the restaurants are failing, hospitality business are failing because they're not training their staff. Because if you don't know how to do something, that's why it's very important to have vet style training. If people don't know, staff don't know how to respond to a complaint, how to deal with the problem, that's when customers are unhappy, because people are not trained. Can you remember the difference between customer service standards, policies and procedures? So, industry standards can be used as a benchmark to ensure products and services are safe, reliable and consistent.
True.
True.
Am I in a class with only 3 people? So true or false?
True.
That's better. All employees should follow organizational customer service policies and procedures.
True.
All customer service personnel in the organization have the same level of power?
False. Parrots.
Can I have everyone to answer, please? Eh? You should adhere to professional standards expected of service industry personnel.
True.
Ooh. Standards are the steps you follow to complete a task.
False.
Those are called
Procedures.
procedures.
Eh,
Hey, well done. Professional standards expected of service industry personnel. So the tourism, hospitality and event sector require you to have a commitment to continuous improvement. You also need certain attributes and the right attitude to work well with your colleagues and with the customers. So look how happy he looks. Motivation. Very hard to get motivated, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, true. It's not just money motivation. Yes, money can be motivation, but what else motivates you?
Seeing customers' happy faces.
Customer is happy. She doesn't care. She wants the money. What else makes you willing to go to work?
Co-workers.
Yes, if you work in a nice and healthy and not toxic environment, you're happy to go to work. Like you are so happy to come to class. Yeah? Because it's got a nice environment. You have friends now, you all know each other. Well, some people are very new first day, but they will be part of the class, yeah? They will also answer questions, maybe.
Maybe.
Okay? So what motivates us? Money?
Yes.
But money is not a motivator, because once you get the money that you got, you always want more. Okay?
True.
True! So what motivates us? A nice working environment, customers are happy, you have good colleagues, you like the place where you work because it's beautiful, because you might make tips, so back to the money, free food. Motivation can be anything, because it's a chance for you to grow and learn more, maybe get sponsored. Motivation. Behavior includes everything you do to serve your customers. For example, taking booking, giving advice. Some people are just happy to go to work because they feel useful to the customers. Every contact between you and your customers is an opportunity to create or change a customer's impression of you and your organization. Your behavior and how you conduct yourself in these moments of truth is of vital importance. Positive attitude. Be positive. We were talking about just before, try not to use negative language. Things like, oh, unfortunately, okay, try not to use these words. Okay? Or we have specials. Special is something that you want to get rid of. You have an addition on the menu today. Besides the beautiful menu that you have, today the chef has created an addition. We have additions. Okay, it's a positive approach that you have. Regardless of how busy you are, as we said before, you always give customer priority. You identify the customer service attributes within Yvonne's goals. So positive attitude, behavior, motivation. Consult with the manager about my professional goals to understand how this aligns with the organizational goals.
Motivation.
used to think of this. Double check customers' details when taking bookings to ensure zero errors in the reservation system. Being polite and courteous when customers ask for assistance.
Positive mentality. That's
Beautiful.
positive, yes.
The importance of personal presentation. Do you remember what that is?